All right, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be talking about the Thor's Lightning Bolt Total Control Air Compressor. This is their part number Bolt 002. And this compressor I actually picked up on a Black Friday sale back in November. They had a little bit of an issue with their distributor and parts being able to come in on time, whatever. They stayed in total communication the entire time. They were awesome about that. Any questions I had, they made sure to answer right away, so I felt comfortable waiting. It's now like the end of January before I received it. No fault of their own, understandably. When you have a massive sale at deep discounts, a lot of people are going to buy, and they just didn't have the inventory to keep up. It happens. So let's see what all is in the box. So right on top we have some instructions. Nice styrofoam packaging. Total carry bag. And then more styrofoam in the bottom. This bag seems to be made of some sort of nylon. I would say it's more like a medium duty nylon, not necessarily heavy duty, but there is some padding inside of it. Feels like the padding is all the way around, so that's nice. We've got a air hose with a simple clip and looks to be a standard fitting on there. So that means that this air hose should be able to plug into any standard air chuck. The bag seems to have a couple of pouches on the front. And like I said, padding all the way around. The bottom does feel like it has some sort of like a harder cardboard or maybe a thin plastic type padding or panel in there, probably to protect it from vibration and stuff being set down hard on the ground. So I like that for sure. We'll set that to the side. Alright, so like I said, our air connection here is a standard air connection. It actually has a piece of rubber on it, which is nice because these fittings get hot when they've been running for a while. So that rubber probably insulates it and keeps your fingers from getting toasted when you're disconnecting it. Nice heavy gauge battery connectors. They appear to be maybe a 6 or a 10 gauge wiring. I'm sure that that is outlined in the instruction manual or owner's manual there. And the cord is plenty long. I'm going to say about 6 feet. So I'm a little under 6 foot tall and it's a little longer than my wingspan. So about 6 feet of cord for you to connect it. Now, this is a 10.6 CFM dual head compressor. So that means that you're getting air out of both sides into a central manifold. The nice part about this one, why they call it a total control, is the display here on the front allows you to set your pressure, and then when it reaches that pressure, it will automatically turn off. Makes it really nice. You don't have to stand around and watch a gauge and check and recheck and everything. If this operates the same way that some of the other ones on the market do, it'll actually go through a cycle where it'll stop and check and then continue airing until it reaches the set pressure. So if we look in the manual here, it says that it does have a thermal switch in it, so it will automatically shut off if it overheats. It's a nice feature. Some of the other compressors will just run until they burn up. Some of the older ones. A lot of the newer ones on the market have that feature. This one is 257 degrees. on the motor. All right, so with that thermal switch, if it does shut off while you're utilizing it, you don't want to try and restart it right away. So if it shuts off on you and you're not at the pressure that you set it to and it's hot, you want to wait 15 minutes before trying to restart it. So that could be due to a few different items, obviously ambient air temperature being one of them. If it's a super hot day, it's going to get hotter faster. Restrictions on airflow, so if it's having a hard time pulling fresh air in, that'll make it heat up. If you have bad connections or poor circuit that it's running on. So you want to make sure that your vehicle is running when you are utilizing this compressor to keep the voltage up. So keep that in mind, 15 minutes if it shuts off due to heat. This one does have a 9-foot cable red here, so it is not 6 foot, it is 9 foot. It is 150 psi max. You can run it with the set pressure mode, or there is also a way in the instructions to bypass that and go into a manual mode where it'll just run until you shut it off. So keep that in mind. The default pressure is set to 30 psi when you power it on. I will check and see if it will maintain a memory if you connect it to power, and then, you know, if you're going to hard mount this, basically if every time you turn it on, if you have to reset the pressure that you want. I can double check that here in a moment, but let's get into it and see what kind of performance this thing has. All right, so I went ahead and grabbed my spare tire here. It is a 35-inch Falcon Wild Peak, so it's a 35 12 5 16 or a 315 75 16 for reference. It's currently at 37 psi. I'm going to air it down to 16, and then we're going to see how long it takes to air it back up in a single tire configuration with this. Let me get it aired down and we'll come back. All right, as you can see, we've got the tire down to 16.1 psi, as close as I could get it. I'm going to go ahead and start the truck, and then we will start the compressor. So there we go. It was a 35-inch tire from 16 psi to 37 psi in 92 seconds. So definitely really quick. One thing that it did say is it recommends that you, if you're going to be using this on a single tire, to use it in the manual mode to prevent overpressuring of the tire. I wasn't too worried about it with these tires. They have a maximum PSI of 66, so like double of what I was putting it at. If you're going to be using this on smaller tires or things that have like the maximum 44 PSI, something like that, then I would probably use it in manual mode. It's very simple. There's a little M button up here. You hit that button, it switches over to manual mode, and then you just have to watch the pressure. So overall, great compressor. I am going to be adapting this into my 4-way onboard air system and switching all that over from the 5/16 lines to the 3/8 lines. So if you're interested in something like that for your vehicle, keep track of the channel here. Don't forget to subscribe, and that video will be coming up as soon as I get some time to install everything. So as always, we thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this with somebody you think can benefit from having a dual head compressor for larger tires and inflating back on the trail quicker. Thanks for watching.